Everyone thinks promotions go to the loudest person in the room, the employee who constantly speaks during meetings, the one who always has an opinion, the person everyone notices. But if you've worked long enough, you've probably seen something confusing. The quiet employee, the one who rarely talks, the one who simply gets their work done, suddenly becomes the manager. Meanwhile, the outspoken employee wonders, how did they get promoted instead of me? This isn't luck, it's psychology, because companies don't always reward visibility. They reward trust, and trust is built very differently than most people think. Today we're exploring why quiet employees often climb the corporate ladder faster than everyone else, and what successful people understand that most employees completely miss. Modern workplaces confuse confidence with competence. Someone who talks confidently is automatically assumed to know more. Psychologists call this the confidence bias. Our brains naturally associate certainty with intelligence, but managers experience something different. After months or years working with employees, confidence becomes less important than consistency. The loud employee may dominate discussions, but the quiet employee quietly delivers results, week after week, month after month. Managers eventually stop asking, who talks the most? Instead, they ask, who can I trust when things go wrong? And trust almost always outweighs charisma. Being quiet doesn't mean lacking ideas. It often means thinking before speaking. This creates an image of emotional maturity. When quiet employees finally speak, people listen because their words aren't diluted by constant talking. Offices are social ecosystems. Every conversation creates opportunities and risks. People who constantly speak also create more chances to say the wrong thing, offend someone, reveal confidential information, join workplace gossip, or accidentally create enemies. Quiet employees naturally avoid many of these traps. They're less likely to become involved in office drama, less likely to spread rumors, less likely to create conflict. And managers notice this because leadership isn't only about producing work, it's also about reducing problems. The safest employee often becomes the easiest person to promote. Imagine two employees. Employee A, funny, talkative, popular, always networking. Employee B, quiet, professional, never misses deadlines, always finishes difficult tasks. When a critical project arrives, who gets it? Usually employee B. Not because they're more exciting, because they're predictable. Humans naturally trust predictable behavior. Psychologists call this behavioral consistency. Managers begin associating certain people with reliability. Eventually, they stop supervising them. That's an enormous advantage. Promotion often begins the moment your boss no longer worries about your work. Freedom is earned through reliability, not personality. Leadership isn't about speaking louder. It's about staying calm when everyone else isn't. Quiet employees often appear emotionally stable. They rarely overreact. They don't argue over small issues. They don't constantly seek attention. During stressful situations, everyone watches, not just what people say, but how they behave. The employee who remains calm under pressure sends an unconscious signal. I can handle responsibility. Managers notice emotional regulation more than employees realize because today's calm employee could become tomorrow's team leader. Most people don't actually listen. They're simply waiting for their turn to speak. Quiet employees often observe first. They gather information. They notice patterns. They understand people before responding. Listening creates influence. People naturally like those who make them feel heard. Ironically, speaking less can increase your social power. When managers ask questions, quiet employees usually provide concise, well-thought-out answers. This creates an impression of wisdom, not because they know everything, but because they avoid unnecessary words. Many promotions fail because of ego. Someone receives authority and immediately begins proving themselves. They interrupt others, take credit, ignore feedback. Quiet employees often display the opposite. They ask questions, accept criticism, continue learning. This mindset is called a growth orientation. Managers love employees who improve every year. Skill can be taught. Humility is much harder to teach. That's why quiet professionals often develop faster over time. Here's the important part. Being quiet alone doesn't earn promotions. Invisible employees are often forgotten. The goal isn't silence. The goal is intentional communication. Speak when your words add value. Volunteer for important work. Share your achievements professionally. Ask intelligent questions. Offer solutions. Quiet employees who communicate strategically become incredibly powerful. They combine reliability with visibility. That's often the perfect combination for leadership. The loudest person in the office isn't always the strongest employee. Real influence isn't measured by volume, it's measured by trust. Quiet employees earn trust because they deliver consistently, avoid unnecessary conflict, stay emotionally stable, think before speaking, and quietly become indispensable. If you've always believed your personality was holding you back, remember this. You don't need to become louder. You need to become more valuable. Because in the long run, results speak much louder than people ever can. If you enjoy psychology, career growth, and understanding how successful people think, subscribe to Zero Mind Psychology. Because every week we uncover the hidden psychology behind success, influence, work, and human behavior.